something off the backboard. Threw you plenty of stuff all year. Ain't charge you 15 bands for it either. Sorry. This is just a new, I won't say new me. This is just the version of me I tried to hold back. You know what I mean? I ain't hit you for 15 bands either to come and get this access to this information. So you can call somebody else and cry about that, but don't call me about it. We on YouTube and we got the people on here and we gonna make sure you good to go. So let's go ahead and share this screen. And let's get into this risk on type appetite. If you here, you can go on that YouTube and that YouTube's for free. The same way you in other people's comments, I want you to put a comment when you get in real value. Let's talk about this. This is real value. Let's break this thing down. Now, what does risk on mean? That means that investors are more willing to take on risk. Key risk on. Capital flows into tech, growth, small cap, and highly volatile stocks. Defensive assets like utilities, staples, bonds tend to sometimes underperform. Because think about it, your defensive stocks, if people are taking a more risk on approach, they had a higher risk appetite. That's where now some of your key signs were in a risk on zone. High growth stocks are rebounding. We've seen names in AI, semiconductors, fintech, biotech, you know what I'm saying, bounce hard within that week, right? That could be an example. Two, volume rotation back into the speculative equities, your OKLOs, your Coinbases, your micro strategies, just giving the different examples, right? Your IONQs, your IRENs, right? Your NEBISes, right? Your risky assets, your A labs. Those are businesses that have not really proven themselves yet. Your Palantirs as well, right? When you see Palantir going up, you can tell that there's a risk on type appetite because that thing is not a profit making machine. Now, it is a big juggernaut, but it has not made profits consistently yet to justify that price. But when you see volume rotating back into those speculative equities, we ain't talking about Caterpillar. We ain't talking about Procter and Gamble. We ain't talking about just print money. We ain't talking about GS. We ain't talking about Home Depot. We ain't talking about Costco. Those are businesses that have proven themselves to the test of tell of time. We ain't talking about Mickey D's. We ain't talking about Lowe's. These are just the facts. The broader indices hold at key levels. QQQ and SPY are found forming footing above critical zones, showing that buyers stepped in. The VIX remains subdued. What do we mean? The VIX is going to remain subdued by breaking below 15. That is what usually when we say the VIX is subdued, 13 to 15, put that down. This is when we are now able to see the VIX subdued. Be cautious, though, because this is still a fragile zone. While the risk may be back on, we're entering a zone of caution. The market may not have escaped macro headwinds, earnings, right? Inflation data, and rate expectations, still loom. A potential for a sharp pullback on any negative catalyst. So understand this. When the stock market is running for 3-6 months on all-time highs off of optimism and pushing these vehicles up, when your core weaves and circle internet groups come in and they say, oh my God, we're in now to the moon, and they go to the moon, just know that there's another side to that. So how to navigate really risk on markets? If you're a trader, you trade momentum, but you don't chase highs. You focus on liquidity and volume leaders, looking for continuation patterns or to break setups, right? Breakout setups and growth stocks, and use tighter risk management as these moves can reverse quickly. If you're a long-term investor, you start building and adding to positions slowly. Prioritize fundamentally strong growth names. What do we always talk about? We talk about identifying businesses that have strong fundamentals, right? Strong fundamentals. Very, very, very important. A good price to earnings ratio in between 15 to 30. A nice sizable cash portion. Not too much debt that isn't serviceable. Also, as well, when you are taking a look, you want to see some Y over Y growth. What is your ROE, your return on equity? How much are you putting back into the shareholders' pockets? These are just the facts. And this is what we talk about, right? So these are just examples of names this week, right? These tickers are getting strong attention if you are going to see a risk on type environment. SMCI, NVIDIA, AMD, Coin, Palantir, Affirm, SHOP, Tesla, TSM, MicroStrategy. So anytime there's a risk on, those are just an example of a few names that you guys can actually use. So I think that's once again super, super duper important for me to touch on to make sure that people understand the difference between risk on versus risk off. Risk on versus risk off. So those are two completely different things. Risk on versus risk off. So in this case right now, we have primarily been in a risk on type appetite for the past 6 to 7 months. Yes, there's been some profits being taken, but the market is still in a risk on type appetite. We are making lower lows and lower high. I mean, excuse me, higher highs and higher lows. We have not been making lower lows and lower highs. So if you think about this, this market has been risk on. The SPY has came from 480 at its low, which when it peaked out here in February is at 611. So massive drawdown, and now we've rallied up here to 680. And if you look, we're taking a look here at the QQQ. Look at how the buyers stepped in, and this is the monthly. Let me go to the weekly. Look at how the buyers stepped in and defended 600. So the next stop is for us to break over this 638. We got a $20 move that's needed on the QQQ. That's 2 to 3 big days, right, on the NASDAQ. 2 to 3 big days. And that would be needed to be some aggressive buying to push us over there. So if we can break through 626, that will lead us to go to 638. I'm going to tell you that here right now. So if we break over that 626, that's going to be that wall of defense. If the buyers can push over the Qs, not that I'm not saying this happens this week, but over the next few weeks, there's a strong chance that we could see a run. Now, on the downside, we lose 600, you're going to go back down there to 584 to 590. So 600 will be the floor. If you break underneath 600, you will see us drop significantly hard. Now, some of the names that was up on Friday, Nebis was up $11. I told you guys that I thought last week during that time that there was some end of the year selling, but it would be followed by some end of the year buying. Shout out to the team at Micron Technologies. They put up another banger of a report. You also have AVGO, which obviously had a banger of a report, but then they also sold off. They're currently at 342, right? AVGO right now is 1.61 trillion in market cap as of Friday's close. So AVGO this week, we need to see a move back above 354. So you got a $12 move that you need to see on AVGO in order to continue to keep pushing. AMD, nothing changes bullish wise on AMD unless they break 226. So take these notes down. NVIDIA needs to break over $185. Unless they break there, they're going to get rejected. So you need to see NVIDIA break over that point at this time. Super, super duper important. Also, Meta Platforms, take this note down. They rejected at 666 last week, but they need to break over 666 in order to move back up there to 680. If they don't break 666, they won't make it to 680. Those are just the facts. But if they get over 680, they're going to go to 704. So those are what I need you guys to put down. Now, you also have this factor in here. You also have BTC, Bitcoin 250 boys. Dreams are shattered because Bitcoin is about to close the year underneath 100K. 250 boys, uh-oh. So I think it's super, super, super duper important. What you can do now is DA Ace 99. What's going on, my brother? Good morning to you. You can join us here on YouTube and you can see the screen. The Zoom link is already in there. So what you can do is, and this is the last free session. So I would suggest you also should send me a DM and you should get inside this community today, my brother, because we're going to set you up with a nice, we're going to give you a nice price. And I would encourage people to get your family and friends on here because actually before you even do that, you should enter yourself into the shot of maybe getting something for free, my guy. Non-stop. We giving free plays that make people 10 to 15 bands. Okay. Free plays on this page. 90% of the plays I put on the page hit. Just a fact. Because I put the highest probability ones. And that's a fact. We can go back and we don't need to debate it. It's just a fact. But you guys have to really take heed of the information that I'm putting. out there. Even when I'm giving you a play, I'm also trying to teach you as well, providing context. I'm just showing you that the, there's a different cloth that's here. It's just, just a different cloth. We showing you how to fish, but we also being a guide and teach you the variables. But you got to also be receptive of the information too. You can't half step this, and you can't remix what I said. If I said one thing, don't remix it and bring it back to me and say, "Oh, but you said this," but you remixed it all the way, homie. You remixed it, and that's what ends up happening. People start remixing. This ain't time to be remixing. Don't remix what I said. Just the facts. BTC's in a bear flag though. So let's talk about it. BTC is in this bear flag. So when you take a look at BTC, 80,000 is going to be the floor. I'm not sold that MicroStrategy. I'm not sold that BTC are just going to run. Now, could the stock market see a run without it? It could. What's the chances on that? Hmm, I'd say slim. I don't know if we'll be able to run it if some of the, because usually like when the high risk assets, but there is times where they could separate. I personally like Coinbase to come down to 210 bucks, which is really at 208. I'm gonna give a shout out to my sister as well here. We went back and forth with this on Friday. And this is someone who's not afraid to text me anything she needs to text me. And this is my sister Marnie by way of Philly. Philly in the house. Fly, Eagles, fly. They beat the Bummanders. Who I sound like? Gilly, right? So fly, Eagles, fly. The Bummanders, So bums, the Bumbamanders. I was gonna say something else, but sorry, DC people. Sorry. I just had to do it. I think it's pretty funny. So the Bumanders. Yeah, so I left out a word, but I ain't gonna use that. No expletives today. We keep it clean. I know a lot of times, and one thing I want to say is I do want to say this to you guys. A lot of you times you guys are having your kids listen, right? And I do appreciate that. So we may, and your spouses, right? Your significant others. So this number may be 181, but it's really like probably like 250 because you got your little one listening. And then as well, you do have your spouse, your significant other, or even some of your family members. You may be at your family house, your brother, your mama, your aunties, etc. I've met some people and they said, and their mom already knows who I am, so I do want to say that. So I do appreciate everybody that has been, sharing this information with as well their other family members. I think that's super important. But the reason why I mention is because sis is not going to be afraid to text me at any time to really just get my thoughts. And I would agree with her, right? Now, I do think that there's some areas that I want to pay attention to here on BTC. And like I said, I'm not really sold that Bitcoin is going to be able to hold above 80K. Just my thoughts. I do think we are going to see a move to 74. When I can't time it, but I would say if I had to, right? If I was saying, I would say within the next 2 to 3 months. Could be sooner, right? But I would say within the next 2 to 3 months, I think we can easily break 80 because that's a soft level and we can go to 74K. So those are my thoughts. I don't see us getting above 95 right now. But if we were, I think we would invalidate obviously that bear flag. Not I know we'll invalidate that bear flag. And you'll probably see us go back to 100K. 100K is where you should be watching and paying attention to. Also, you got up there at 106K. You want to be mindful of that area and those levels. So 95K, very, very, very important. 100K and 106 on the upside. Let's say Bitcoin does break up outside of this bear flag. But underneath 83,000, it's going to go kiss and break through 80K. This next time it's going, and y'all hearing me tell you this now. You get what I'm saying? So what's my thoughts on MSTR? This is why being on the Zooms is important. And I'm going to call you out, my brother. And I told you, I'm going to call you out. You've been missing classes, man. And I'm going to do it to you right now. I'm not going to put your name out there, but I'm going to tell you here now, you've been missing class, bro, because I've been going over MicroStrategy and you haven't been in class. So what's my thoughts on MicroStrategy? I'm going to do this for you. but I want you to make sure you get in class, G, because there's some things you missing. 100, that right there around $100 is very, 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 very important to hold. Now, $100 would be going ahead and taking us back here, right here to a August 5th low, right? So August 5th low. So I would look for, if MicroStrategy, we know MicroStrategy is they're the most leveraged thing out there. MicroStrategy is like the Warriors when they signed KD, right? Joe Lacob was paying that luxury tax. He was paying a hefty bill. That bill was that was I won't say it was a bad bill because it did pay off, but I mean that bill at the time was a hefty bill. You was leveraged. You talk about over leveraged. They was over leveraged. Now it's a good thing when it pays off, which the Warriors won 2 championships with KD, and then they obviously won the fourth championship, so it paid off. You was deep in the deep waters. That's a high, that's a bill. So when you take a look at it, I would say that MicroStrategy, the destruction, and just a piece, because sometimes with these leverage, this is not a leverage product, but it's a company that all they do is leverage. So with MSTR, with Bitcoin going to 74K, I would say they'll be at 120. Like MicroStrategy will be at $120 if Bitcoin goes to 74K. And roughly you could make an argument that if Bitcoin goes to 50, that MicroStrategy would be at $70. You could make a strong argument to that. Now, I've always said that I don't think it's going below 50. I'm confident in that. That I don't think Bitcoin will ever go below 50,000 ever again. And that's just something I'm willing to stand on. If push come to shove, it breaks, then it does break, and I'll own up to it. But I don't even think it's anything to own up to because it's not even a bad thing. I think people would be salivating at 40, 50,000, in between that range. So those are my thoughts as far as mass destruction. The lowest I see Bitcoin going is 50K. That's the floor for me. I don't see that thing going underneath 50. And if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. And I don't believe I'll be wrong for long. That's just what it is. I think at 40, 45, there'll be a monsoon of money that comes and Bitcoin will be back to 55. You blink twice. So this is a highly wanted asset. So a 50% drop from here would take it to 44K. And I'm gonna tell you now, you best believe at 44,000, there'll be people selling their houses to go buy Bitcoin. These just the facts. There will be people selling their homes to go buy Bitcoin. These are just the facts. At 40 to 50K, they'd be selling their homes. You have people selling their $300,000-$400,000 homes, going ahead and putting half of it in Bitcoin. And people will be downsizing. They're like, yo, we're going to go figure this out. Play with it if you want to. If y'all agree with what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, if y'all agree with what I'm saying, at 40 to 45K, people would be selling their homes to go buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying the truth. These just the facts. You get what I'm saying? These just the facts. You know what I'm saying? Just what it is. People would be selling their homes. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, they would go, people would go downsize. Seriously, people go downsize for real. They $400,000 home, 300, they'll take half of it and put it in Bitcoin. They take the rest of it, pay, they probably, house may not be paid off, pay off to, what you got to pay off. And whatever they got, they're going to go downsize and be good. Because when Bitcoin at 200K, 250K, and you got 3 or 4 of them, now you got $1 million in Bitcoin. Just what it is. The path to $1 million, I would say, is going to be easiest with Bitcoin. Just as far as putting yourself in the right place. Like if 40 to 50K comes, I'm confident that a lot of us in this community, a lot of people in this community have over 100K. Don't get it twisted. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people in this community have over 100K somewhere. Retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, in their home equities. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? These are just the facts. I know it. I could be the one to tell you. So those are my pieces, is that people are going to go and get 2 Bitcoins. That's, at minimum. You know what I'm saying? And even right now, if it falls to 74K, 66K, people will go grab one. Seriously. So those are my thoughts. This time right now, you get what I'm saying? This is the time right now that you are going to see. I'm not going to be one of those people that's the last time ever. Mm-mm. But my personal opinion is that this will be the last time that you see Bitcoin to get underneath 100K cycle wise. So when I say that, when I said I'm not talking about last time ever to build something, we always going to have opportunities to build, but it will get harder. Each time it does get harder. It's just the reality. To build something, it gets harder each day. It's just reality, you know? But to me, on BTC, this next run, if we see Bitcoin go to 150, 100 to 150 to 200K, I don't think we'll break underneath 100K ever again. I think that'd be the floor. Those are just my thoughts. So right now, we have an opportunity to get Bitcoin maybe at 50, highly at 60. So those are my thoughts on getting BTC. MicroStrategy, 70 bucks. I'm gonna say that now. 70 bucks is where you're going to get MicroStrategy potentially if Bitcoin does have a 50% crash. That is the crash level, right? So MicroStrategy would be, you know, gasping for air. You know what I'm saying? At $70 if that was to happen. So those are really my thoughts. I think there's no reason to really jump into anything at all. So I do think it is super, super, super duper important. So, um, mm, yes, ma'am. I got your message, Miss Pam. So, like I said, you know where to be. We right here. We ain't too hard to find. We here all the time. So just all you got to do is tap in. When you come back, all you got to do is tap in and make sure that you're going ahead and watching the right information. So, we here every single week to provide you guys, you know, information. We're not perfect, but we're providing you enough information to be able to eat in the long run. So you got BTC here. Those are my thoughts. Bitcoin, this is your chance. You know what I mean? And this is what it comes down to. You got MicroStrategy. So back to Coinbase. On Coinbase, you should know that Coinbase here, if you pay for Coinbase, anything above $200 is an overpay. Am I clear? Anything above $200 on Coinbase is a overpay. Coinbase, I want you to put that down. Over 200 is what we call an overpay. You're overpaying for the company. You don't want to do that. Roughly, I would say anywhere in between 120 to 160 would be a fair pay. So I'm just telling you now, this would be a fair pay. A perfect pay, which once again, you don't always get perfect prices. A perfect pay would ideally be in between 75 to 90 bucks. That's where you would put your bread up. You wouldn't even talk to me about it. You would not even talk to me about it at $75, $90. You put your bread up, there would be no questions, and you just come back to it on the next run. And you'd be like, L prepared me for what was to come. Once again, perfect prices don't always come because it's just what it is. But your perfection price is right there at 75 to $90. Your fair pay, if you get it at 120, 160, and it goes to 75, 90, I can tell you, you won't lose sleep at night because you knew what you paid for it. If you buy it at 200 or overpaid for it, you will. Because at 75, 90, you'll be saying, damn, I didn't listen to L. He was telling me that I was overpaying for the company. While everyone's cheerleading, you should be looking at what you are overpaying for. A lot of times people get caught overpaying. You're buying too high. And that's what happens to people. They don't know where they're buying. The worst mistake that people do is when you go and you listen to these people on YouTube and they telling you to buy tickers, buy this ticker, buy that ticker, buy this ticker, buy that ticker. But you don't know the DNA. You just blindly buying and you becoming a exit liquidity. That's what it comes down to. Do not be somebody's exit liquidity, right? So no exit liquidity is very, very, very important. So no exit liquidity, super, super duper important for you guys. That's what's happened. That's how most people got into this game. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of people got into this game being somebody else's exit liquidity because they was selling you smoke on their platforms. They was telling you to buy things that I was telling you to short. Oops, let me be quiet. Let me not do that this morning. It's Sunday. It's 8:07. Let me be nice. I'm just telling you the truth. You buying and you becoming somebody's exit liquidity. So when I tell you don't buy Palantir, and people say, how could he say that? How could he say not to buy Palantir? What is LE on? Should he be telling people to buy, not buy Palantir? Yeah, you shouldn't be buying Palantir. Why? Because we bought Palantir at $20. You be my exit liquidity. And you be most people inside this community, contrary to what people believe, becoming their exit liquidity. Just what it is. We ain't saying Palantir crashing, but come on, guys, it'd be foolish to buy Palantir here. And you know it, and I know it. You get what I'm saying? You know it, and I know it. You know better. You don't buy this because you've seen this story before. Once again, not to say that we wishing bad. We don't wish bad on anything, but we understand you've seen this story before. And I hate to bring up the trauma, but this is just what it is. The ARK ETF, the same ETF that I told people to buy at $35. I came here for 3 years on the weekly watch list, and we can go pull the tape. And I said, go give Kathy Woods a shot. But at the same time, those were the same people that said I wasn't teaching. Uh-oh, now I'm talking. No, you just wasn't showing up, homie. And you was too busy crying about the 15,000 you paid these jokers. And you paid them, they took your money and they ain't teach you nothing. But then you came to me and you tried to penny pinch me. And then I let you into the community, my mistake, let you into the community and ain't even charge you. Then you was on the Zooms, but you still wasn't taking notes. But you paid them 15. And I ain't really heard you talk too bad about them. But my name seemed to be in your mouth for some reason. Uh-oh. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm too nice. Too nice. Too nice. Shouldn't have let them in. But you got some nerve to speak about me. You ain't even show up to the Zooms, homie. Talking about this and that. Okay. Just what it come down to. People be losing their minds and be seeming to forget. But at $30, $35, I told them where to get the ARK ETF at. You buy things at a discount when it's in accumulation. The ARK outperformed what? The S&P and the NASDAQ this year. Put some respect on Kathy Wood's name. Will it do it next year? No. Spoiler, not a prediction. Will the ARK ETF outperform the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 next year? The answer to that question is, I'm going to put it right in the chat. No. Period. Just what it is. You get what I'm saying? No. It's just what it comes down to, man. It's not going to outperform. You want to know why it's not going to outperform? Because the DNA not set up for it. The only way it has a chance to maybe keep on par, I could say the ARK could maybe keep neck and neck, but the only way that's going to happen is if Tesla goes to 700. The only way that the ARK could be able to stand with the SPY and the QQQ is if Tesla goes berserk, which is possible with 12% asset allocation. Roku, if you're listening, listen here carefully. Listen up, because I'm about to give you the target. You ready? You got your headset on? You listening? Roku, 150 to 170. 150 to 170 max. That's where Roku can go. And now I'm about to give you some spoilers real quick. You got to listen up, though, because you got to pay attention, because now I'm about to map out the play. I'm about to give you the levels. Roku's in what phase? Accumulation. Roku can break out. Where are your levels? There we go, baby. Right there. Have your levels. Have your levels. Cut it on. You should know. You should know where you're paying attention to, where your zones. You got this accumulation phase, so pay attention. If it cracks its head over 117, it's going at that 135. And then going to 151.07 and 177. Now, Roku is a business that's been in an accumulation phase. So when we talk about ARK ETF, these two tickers make up what? Almost 18%. So that's pretty much almost 1/5 of the move, two tickers. So if Tesla and Roku can have a decent year next year, if Tesla explodes, that's the only way you'll be able to keep on par. Other than that, if you ask me the question of if the ARK is going to be below 100 next year still, the answer to that question, I'll say there's a 60 to 70% chance the ARK finishes below 100 next year. So you can book that I said that. We'll just say 60. We'll say 60. Actually, you know what? I'll increase it. Let's do 70. 30% of me says that if Tesla just gets going, that's the reason why. That's one of the few reasons why, is because if Tesla gets going, the ARC can seriously run, because we know how Elon gets when he's motivated. This stock don't hesitate to take off. And I'm going to tell you here now, 565 is the number that you want to watch Tesla go to early in the year, because I think we could see a squeeze on Tesla. I don't think we're done running. Once we crack 500, I think we're going to see a couple green days on Tesla. So you want to watch Tesla and the ARC very carefully and closely, especially in the early part of January. Tesla could go on a run right here in January. Now, what it does in February and March will be interesting, because sometimes you can see pullbacks across the market. But right out the gates, Tesla could jump on us and put up a 50 ball. So I'm telling you here now, while I'm dropping 50 on you, Tesla could come in and put up 50 and hang it on your head quick. You looking at Tesla after, I was like, damn, they had 550 today. So watch for Tesla early in the year. Watch for TSLA early in the year, guys. Watch for Tesla early. Because right now, you about to see Tesla take off. Right now, we currently at 481. As long as we can close above, Tesla has that volume and a motivated Elon. I'm excited to see what he does for earnings. Earnings, if they come out really great, which I think there's a strong chance Tesla earnings will be, and guidance for the FY 2026 and 2027, they can push numbers. So I'm going to tell you here right now, a soft January target post earnings, we're going to do $550. That's a $70 increase on Tesla. Tesla can get going, but it must hold above 474. If we break back down below 474, we'll go right back within the range. So very, very important that Tesla clears this air. And I think that this is once again, one of the major players in the things that you want to look at going into 2026 is that Tesla has a motivated Elon. And so in 2026, Elon keeps his mouth, to what he can. We know he can't help himself. But if he's in that lab working, busting his ass, getting back to the Elon that we know him to be, we're going to see the numbers and the results. Those are just the facts. So when it comes down to it, those are the areas that I want you to pay attention there. Now let's give some of our sleepers, because we will have our stock options playbook and some of our price targets on release on the way back. So what I'm going to say is that for that will be only for in community only. That will not be on no IG lives. That will only be for mentees only. Keyword mentees. So if you are in the mentorship Discord, you will get access into that. No one else is getting access. We keeping things exclusive here in 2026. You've had the opportunity to come and try me out. You've had the whole buffet. I just can't, if you don't want to get in now, that's on you. You've had the whole buffet. You've taken 3 to-go plates from the buffet, even though the buffets don't even allow that no more. You can't even take three to-go plates at the buffets. They don't even allow that. They look at you crazy and tell you, put it down. So I'm going to tell you here right now, stop playing around. This is it. Because my people that pay their hard-earned dollars to get in this community deserve things to be kept in-house. I'm not hearing no crying stories. Because guess what? The people that's inside the community, they ain't cried to me. They just came in and pulled the trigger. Unless I threw them an alley-oop, I threw them. But they ain't cry for it. So please don't never do that with me. Never do that. Yo, Ellie, I don't want to waste your time, man, but you already wasted my time. I don't want to waste your time, Ellie, but I got like 5 questions. Okay, cool. I'll answer a couple. Yeah, man, but I appreciate it, man. I paid such and such, man. So I ain't gonna pay you. But I appreciate you for your time. Okay. Well, take your ass up out of here then. We'll see you. We got enough people in this community. We good. We focused. Please don't do that. That's wasting people's time, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we giving you enough for free to try to help you. But you got to help yourself first. That's just what it comes down to. So let's talk about some of our breakout players for 2026. And let's highlight, okay, where we see some of these things going and why. Why are they a breakout player? What's the rationale and the reason as to why we view some of these names as a breakout player? And what are the areas of the market that we are going to be looking to manipulate at, right? So there's been a ton of names that had successful years, successful year during this time. Now you have some other names that are looking to be on the climb, particularly if we are in a risk on type appetite. There's one name that I don't want you to forget about, which could be very easy for you to forget about, and that is SMCI. So in between $17 to $22, I feel as if that's a price that you just couldn't pass this business up at. You talk about buying at the right time. That's where it comes down to, is buying at the right time. So exposure wise, is this a name that I think you should be overexposed to? No, you should have a minimal amount of exposure. I would keep it on the lower spectrum. This is not a house money name. Just what it comes down to. This is not your big boy name, but this is worth a shot because SMCI, they had some things to clean up and they still do, but it's about price to earnings, price to value. So this is a valuable grab at these levels. At 30, at $31, it's still a bit too high, but 17 to 22, you could sell a cash secure put at that $20 strike. I would look to sell some cash secure puts if I was thinking about this ticker out for February or March. You know what I mean? Because we could see some pullbacks there. Selling some cash secure puts on this name for the $20, $25 strikes would make a ton of sense. So to acquire some shares of SMCI, I think on the lower spectrum would make a ton of sense for you guys. So this is one that I do want you guys to put down on your notes. You should already have this name, but just SMCI is your dark horse, your sleeper type pick. It has an opportunity depending on where you buy it. This is, once again, you make your money on the buy. So where you buy specifically something, I think is utterly, utterly very, 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 very important. Where you buy is ultimately going to determine a lot of things for yourself. You have to buy at the right prices. Very, very, very important. Now, next thing we are going to discuss and speak about, I actually want to talk about this name here for a quick second, not even a quick second. I actually want to talk about it for more than a quick second. And it is, 1 second. Actually, I'm going to do this one first. And yes. Right. CEG. So I want to talk about CEG right now. And the reason why I want to highlight CEG, currently, I just want to go through since April, right? We went from $155 to $355. But I actually want to break down CEG from a fundamental perspective. Constellation Energy Corporation, currently $355. This is a company that's earning $8.74 with a 40 price to earnings ratio. So this is a company that does, when you do take a look at it from the surface, this is not a bad business, a forward PE of 31. Now, this is a low floater company, so 312, all right, $312. Now, they had a negative 22% quarterly earnings growth. They have 3 times the debt versus the cash. So you know that offhand and rip that this is not a company that's free all the way from their debt. Now, when I do look at CEG, I want to talk about it from a chart perspective. So I want to give you guys some areas that you want to actually go look to buy CEG. And it's going to be $100 off coupon. I want to say this. I believe that in CEG in 2026, you will get $100 off coupon on this name. So this is not a buy right now. This to me would actually be more of a short-term sell, right? If someone was to hold. The prices you want to pick this thing up at is roughly in between 180 to 220. Now, what's the likelihood of us getting down there? I would say between about 20 to 30% chance of that rainfall happening. A sweet spot, though, would ideally be in between 260 to 280. So 260 to 280 would make a lot of sense for you to pick up this name. But I would like it. I would love it actually at $180. I would really love it there because I don't think you'll see these. I don't think you'll see this here for now unless, price was to really erase all these gains. But CEG's been on a climb, growing profitability. They've put up numbers, right? They did have a down year on the earnings, but that didn't stop the stock. So currently at 110 billion in market cap, I roughly estimate once we see that, like, we can pull back down there to 80, 90 billion, that's a smart place to buy CEG in between 80 to 90 billion dollars. Best place would be in between 50 to 60 billion. So you're looking at a 50% retracement, which would bring you down roughly to about $178 and change. So that would be a 50% retracement from where they're currently at today. They peaked out at 411. So yeah, this is a name underneath 200. Underneath 250 would be a fair price, like just what it is based upon the business. But anything over 300 and you're overpaying. Just the reality. You're overpaying anything over 300. That's just my thoughts. So I wanted to make this mention. CG, we've covered it many of times. So I wanted to make sure as in the back half that we did go ahead and do that. Now, one of our breakout players of the year was TKO. TKO Group Holdings. You guys know I'm a big WWE fan. I just joined Wrestling Republic, so make sure you guys follow me there. I'll be a weekly contributor there all year next year. So Wrestling Republic, providing coverage and sports entertainment and WWE. It's a really growing platform, and I'll be sharing content there. So I covered, obviously everyone knows TKO, right? From me, and TKO was the major player this year. And like I told you, it would be the deal with Netflix at the beginning of the year. I told you we kicked things off January with the first Raw on Netflix, and you've seen exactly that, right? So go back here to we shot up here. Look at the move that we saw leading up to that. Obviously, pulled back in February and March, like most things did, and then boom, from $135 to $213. So let me give you guys some notes on why I believe TKO can have another great year next year. And what's the main thing? So the deal with ESPN, just to give you some updates, $30 a month. You're moving away from Peacock. Peacock was, obviously, you guys know the cost of Peacock, anywhere in between 10 to 15 bucks a month, depending on what platform you have. So TKO currently right now is at $213 a share. The stock price has been up from 135. Earnings PDE, which is 81. So when you do look at TKO next year, WrestleMania will be directly live in Las Vegas again. So we'll be in Las Vegas. You have SummerSlam, which will be in Minneapolis. You have Cody Rhodes, which is the WWE champion right now. You have Gunther, which just retired John Cena, December 13th. John Cena's no more. He's done. Childhood's over for me. And these next generation of wrestlers are taking over. And Vince McMahon is obviously still in the background. He owns a certain amount, but he's been removed from the company. You have The Rock, who sits on the board, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's running the company from the creative side and the creative direction. He's orchestrating these deals. TKO is formed partnership with UFC, Equal Merger, and Endeavor, right? So Endeavor and WWE have pretty much formed this partnership, and it's made TKO. The Royal Rumble, which will be in Saudi Arabia. So in January, they're kicking things off big. That Saudi money coming in. So the Saudis is making sure that they spend that money with WWE. So shout out to my main man, Sammy. He's one of our Saudi Arabian members. And he taps in here all the time. Shout out to my brother, Sammy. And so he's actually, giving me some insight just as far as life over there, being Adrian. And he's been able to, just enlighten me about, just everything that goes on over there in the life and understanding, right, from his perspective. So I appreciate that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on TKO. Big year next year. The one thing that I would say is that I'm glad that they're doing, because I do think that in the US, obviously you understand where the economy is. It's good that they're doing a lot of those major premium live events. They're doing it overseas. Some overseas economies are thriving. So I expect WWE to make a ton of money next year. TKO with a price target of 275. 275, guys. So 275 here, price target on TKO. So TKO Holdings, 275. And they outperformed Disney, which is obviously ESPN. So TKO is getting the better of the deal when it comes to ESPN. ESPN is paying for that. And yeah, TKO 275 price target. So you can book it. You can book that, You can book it. We all know that WWE is fixed and scripted, so you can book that. That's what my thought on booking here for TKO Group. So 275 is what you have there on TKO. Now, I also want to give you a ton of my resurgence plays. I want you to put this under resurgence. One of the resurgence plays is going to be mRNA. You guys take this down. mRNA, Moderna. This is your resurgence, resurge. So anytime we call for a resurge, I want you guys to put this down. Resurge, resurge. So let me explain this now, because that could be a blanket statement, right? Just saying resurge. Let me explain my thoughts on why I believe mRNA. And let me break this down. Resurge. So right now you were up 10% on Friday. Now I want to say this, that when it comes to Moderna, this is a I was about to say a bad word, but this is a trash company, right? This is -$8.06. -$8.06 EPS. This is hot garbage, hot garbage, flame throwing garbage. But when you ask, as far as just because it's flame throwing garbage doesn't mean that it can't run. So this, I want to make this very, very clear. This is a high risk, high reward. I want to stress that to you right now. High risk, high reward. So do not get into this company and say that L guaranteed anything. Let's start there. There's no guarantees on this. There's no guarantees in anything, but this is a high risk, high reward. I'm going to say it again. High risk, high reward. But I know where I'm buying at, right? Because you're in the bottom of this trend. This has been an accumulation phase. mRNA has been discussed actually multiple times throughout the year as far as taking advantage of picking up some shares here. It's worth the shot. Because if mRNA can come back to $60, which that is going to be my 2026 EOY price target. End of the year, I'm not saying mRNA goes back to $120 or nothing like that. But I got them doubling in 2026. And it's mainly because of short covering. I believe that institutions will continue to get over leveraged. And here's how it's going to go. They're going to have one of their clinical trials. Well, here we go. They're going to have one of their clinical trials, which goes through one of the clinical trials that goes through the right way, gets approved. We're looking for approvals. So I'm going to say this. The reason why mRNA will run is because they are going to get approvals for some of their medical practices. So to me, that will cause the run because there will be a short squeeze. I'm going to tell you here now. I'm not going to say they're going to stay there for long, but I'm going to tell you that mRNA will get squeezed. They're going to get squeezed in 2026. So this is what we call a mud play. This is hot trash, hot garbage, but they will get squeezed. So I do want to say that mRNA will get short squeezed with about 21% of their shares outstanding being shorted, 17% of their shares outstanding being shorted. They have 390 million. So I'm going to tell you here now, the only reason mRNA did what they did the first time is because they got short squeezed. So I'm going to tell you, this is a trash company, but it could be on a short squeeze docket. So very likely that you do get short squeezed here on mRNA. So Moderna, short squeeze. So I want you to put that down there. All right. Next thing I want to go through, we covered TKO. We covered, and we're not covering everything, by the way. So for my people that's on here, don't think this is it. But I also want to talk about a recovery play next year for UPS. Man, I've been excited. So let me talk about UPS real quick. So they made some strategic moves to cut costs. This was a cost-cutting year. Now I'm going to say this. UPS, it's been here through the telltale times. 2020 erased a 5-year. So I want to talk about here at this zone. This is a buy area, right? So when you are taking a look here, this is a buy area for UPS. Let's talk facts and numbers. Now, is this a growth company? No, it's not a growth company, but we know where we understand where we're buying it at, right? Where we buying this thing at a 15 PDE, $6.47? Because I'm going to tell you here, they are actively eliminating jobs. They're going to continue to do that. So what you think is going to happen to UPS in the long run? So this is 2026 and beyond. You could call this a decade play. Your last 5 years of the decade. UPS, I got all the trust in the world to believe that their cost-cutting effects will lead to shareholders wanting to invest and reward them. So my end of the year target on them is 140 for 2026. I'm not expecting a major move, but I mean, for UPS, that's a good move. I mean, just think about it. UPS going up from 100 to 140, that's a 40% move. That's a great year, for them. So we're not saying 200 or nothing crazy like that, but you best believe UPS will be moving up next year to 140 bucks. They will be going to 140. So that is my target on them. UPS, one of your dark horses. They've made some cost-cutting efforts, put themselves in the right position to be able to pull the trigger and execute on the things that they need to, and that's what they've done. So I trust this name. I just, I've been, test the time. I'm going to trust UPS and management over there because they made the cost-cutting efforts, and I think the stock will be rewarded for it. So I definitely like this name. Next one is going to be a one Unity Software. Listen up. Listen up. So let me tell you, we about to break out here on Unity. Don't think I forgot Unity over $50. I'm telling you right now, 55. I'm gonna tell you, Unity, about to come back together. Unity. And I'm not saying this goes nowhere near 200. So I'm just putting these levels on here. Never say never. Never say never. Never say never. So now you got to look at here over 50. Over 50. I'm going to say this. This thing cracked the top at 50. I got an end of the year target of $70 on 70 bucks on Unity. $70. I think they can go kiss 76. But I like Unity to at least take a move. I'll say this. This would be something that move and may not be able to stay. So it may come and hit 58 and reject if it doesn't get over. It might go to 65. But Unity here, get ready, set your alert. So what should you do? Unity Software. I want you to go to your Yahoo and put that alert for 50. We got the 250 boys and we got the U50. That's for Unity. So you got Unity boys. The Unity boys, U50. So we call that, when you hear U50, you know what time it is, because that means Unity is cracking. Now, what's the best way that I think to maximize this? Because you know what type of company Unity is, you know that this thing is not going to break easy. It is not going to break easy. So I would suggest that I'm looking at the contracts. You got contracts out till August. That's 243 days. I think the easiest thing to do would be to go ahead and buy an August contract on Unity. Looking at the cost, it's not that bad. You can get a Unity contract. The $40 calls, you can get them. You can get the Unity contract for $1,300. That's not a bad trade-off. That amount of time. So the Unity calls, right? And this is that's for August 21st of next year. Unity calls, August 21st, 1,300. That ain't a bad trade-off because that thing could turn up 200 to 300% quick. So that's a 2 to 3, I would say actually a 150 to 300 type play. 150 to 300% type play. Unity calls $40 strike for August. That's a 150 to 300% type play if you can go to 65. And if you go to 76, that'd be where the 300% will come from. If it goes to 76, you'll get a 300% return on your contracts. You go to 65, you'll get in between 150 to 200, depending on when it happens. So those are my thoughts on Unity, right? And, as far as just, making sure that people understand in the dark horses. So next one, ISRG, baby. Intuitive Surgical. Let's get it. ISRG. Let me tell you here now. Put this down. ISRG. I want you to put down Intuitive Surgical. You got a low floater. ISRG 750. 750. I want you to put it down. ISRG. Intuitive Surgical. Let's break down as to why. So ISRG was also one that we made mention of at that $430. We spoke on ISRG as far as people picking up this name this year. But I want to talk about it from a trading perspective, really solely trading. No one, not necessarily telling people that this is the long-term investment price, right? But when you do look at ISRG, let me make sure that I'm able to help people know why is Intuitive Surgical an important name for you to go ahead and pay attention to. Because ISRG, when we are looking at Intuitive Surgical, this is one down there at $400 a share, right? It made sense, right? $400 a share from a long-term investor perspective. But what's happening essentially here that's building? ISRG is essentially, I know hold on, let me erase this real quick because they did have this rising wedge, but they are making a bull flag pattern here. So this bull flag pattern is clear as day here on this weekly time frame, right? So clear as day, right? Clear as day right here on this weekly time frame. So very, 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 very important. You had a double bottom pattern that actually took place. But now, we bounced there. You can see that double bottom down there. You have a bull flag pattern. The same thing that was on GEV before when GEV ran. Bull flag pattern building here on the macro. So let me tell you here now. ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, 750. Now, why am I saying 750? Let me explain. So the pole length is from basically 300 all the way up here to 550. So right now we're at 572. So I'm going to basically give us around $200 of length of pole. So the length of the pole is the reason why I said that. And so realistically, I'm giving us that 750 price target. Now let's talk business. Let's talk business and numbers here on ISRG. This is a $7.56 business from an earnings perspective with a 75 PDE. So do keep that in mind. This is not anything really super cheap. Now, this is always kind of traded forward. Like ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, has always been a forward price type business. There's not really many people shorting this name. They do have a good bit of cash. Earnings are growing. So you can expect that. So because they are a low floater, 354 million shares outstanding, this is a business that can take off as long as those requisite earnings. So this is a prove it more to me year for ISRG. ISRG, I believe that they will prove it. And I would say that a soft target, if you want to do a soft target of 680, we'll go soft 680, hard 750. Soft 680, hard 750. So we could go kiss that 680. I'm pretty sure about that. 750 will determine by how many consecutive quarters in a row in 2026 they can put up the bag. So those are my thoughts here with particularly ISRG, right? So 680 and 750. Those are your soft two targets. We like ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, to run to the upside. We really think that this is a business because, one, they are in a bull flag and their numbers are actually flagging as well, too. The numbers are flagging to the upside. So we're projecting them to actually go. They've held and they've also had some small increases, but we're expecting a breakout year here from ISRG, Intuitive Surgical. So 680 and 750. So we're 680 and 750. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's talk more. Let's talk these numbers. Let's talk these numbers. Let's talk Uber. Uber. You want to get Uber. Listen, there could be a shot for you to get Uber At about $55 to $65. Don't miss it because I'm telegraphing the play. Uber at $55, you should be doing what? Cash secured puts. Because you see, at $99, it was going to cost you 10 racks. Now, if Uber goes to 55, it's going to cost you half of it. That's a good buy for a company with a 10 to P to E ratio, which got a shot by the end of this decade to be at 150, 160 bucks. We ain't saying we expect spectacular from Uber, but we know what this company is churning, and they're doing cost cutting effectives. They're figuring some things out, and you got to do that. So $7.77. You see how I knew the PE before I even pulled it up? How I knew the PDE before I put it up? Because I'm on these Yahoo Finance, man. Every single day I'm on this joint. And you guys are on this thing too, because now we got Mandy who coming in here. She regurgitating the information. We got Remar, we got Cleves, we got Marnie, we got all my family that's in here. You guys are regurgitating the information. The 200 people that's on here listening this morning, you guys are regurgitating this information. You guys are regurgitating this information. It's very, 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 very important that you guys know this information just as good as I do. Because when it comes time to pull the trigger, you need to step up to the plate. You need to step up to the plate. As far as for ISRG, the contracts are going to cost you, it's going to be a nice bag. It won't be as cheap as Unity. But I would suggest if you're looking at ISRG to put June and later. That's just my thoughts, right? But it's going to cost you a bag. So if that's not a ticker that you are able to get into, if someone hears that, right, just know that GEV won't be cheap. I mean, not GEV, ISRG won't be cheap. I keep saying GEV, but ISRG won't be cheap because they had the same pattern. So when it comes down to this is Uber. You got to know where you're buying at. Uber is $79. Uber's been able to turn the tide. It's about the price that you pay. You make your money at the buy. And so maybe a couple rough spending quarters leads Uber to the downside. Maybe Uber is spending too much, spending woes. Pay attention there. You may see that in 2026. I believe you should be a buyer of any dip on Uber. Any dip on Uber, you want to be a buyer of that. All right. So those are my thoughts there. Next thing I want to discuss is Kava boys. Kava boys got to eat. They got to eat. So they at $56, but they in a descending pattern, right? They in a descending pattern, pretty much dropped here, down here, all the way to 42 bucks. Let me talk about Kava though here for a second. Price target on Kava is going to be 75 bucks. Now, I'm going to say this. Kava, $75. Now, our best price was 30 bucks. You don't always get your best prices. We say that all the time. At $30, you would have just bought it blindly. You just would have opened your brokerage account and you would have bought it. You would have said, okay, it's at 30 bucks. Because you know the value at $30 of what this business is to pay. Kava, rebound year for them. We ain't gonna say they're gonna put knife in Chipotle, right? But Kava, this is good money. They went from 20 cents to $1.16. Kava once was a 700 P to E business. So you can sleep on Kava if you want to. This is the place where you should be thinking about buying, executing. Like I said, even at the 40s, I told people, yo, you should be picking up there. 30 was just the perfect price. So a lot of people has been positioning themselves in Kava. So I need you guys to understand, Kava is still here. You might see a drop again. Maybe it goes back down. There's a chance that Kava could retrace right back down to 48. It's not over yet. So keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. 48. Keep your eyes. First 48. So keep your eyes peeled. And also, I'm keeping my eyes right there on that 40. 40 is going to be the level I'm going to watch if we get down there again. We may not. 48 may be all you get, and you might not even get that. I'm going to be honest. Because Kava looked like it's ready to move over this 58 and go crack his head on 66. So I'm going to tell you here now. And I see we at 8:45, so we got more people that's waking up. I'm glad that everyone's getting into the building here now. We're here nonstop. So we've been rolling for about 2 hours now for the people that's just coming in. Once again, we very consistent. 2 hours on a Sunday morning before you get ready to go do the things you need to do, holiday and all of that stuff. Praise God. You should have already praised him once you woke up. but some people's getting ready to go into service. We get that. But what I want you guys to know is I'm giving you guys the real game. There's no fluff in it. Tell me where the fluff's been at this whole time we've been on a Zoom call. Where has the fluff been? These are the facts and the numbers. And we backing these things up. Predictions, spoilers, all of them, all nine together. So what I'm telling people is Kava, not just because of hope or because I'm just pulling things out of my behind. We don't do that. It's about where you buy. And what is this? How could I point to that? Because I've been covering the stock. I cover over 100 companies easily. In my sleep, I cover over 100 companies. And so when you also go in person to Kava, there's some things that they need to get cleaned up as well inside the store. Their margins need to become a bit better. So there's some things to work on, but they are opening up new stores. They don't need to open up too many, but they have been on an expansion. But sometimes you do need to go into that spend mode. So they're about to go on a run. And what I'm not talking about from even a stock price perspective, business-wise, Kava's about to go on a run. And they're going to heat things up for Chipotle a little bit more. So Kava 2026, they got to put up. And I think they will. I think Kava will put up. So we'll see. I'll give a vote of confidence there to trust them. But minimal exposure. You should not get overexposed. Don't run with this and say, yo, I'm going to dump everything. Hell, talking about Kava, I'm putting, oh, hell no. Don't do that. Listen to what I'm saying and take it for what it is. Because what I'm telling you is the truth. I'm telling you is the truth. It's exactly what I'm telling you. So next ticker that I'm going to talk about, and I want to give you guys, this is a mud play. I want to make sure you guys know that. Serve Robotics, ticker SERV. 50% coupon, please. $5. That's where I want you to play with this. $5. If you don't get it at $5, minimal exposure. So $5, Serve Robotics, Inc. $5 a share. That's why I want you to buy this name at. This is a mud play. If you're not going to play in the mud, don't touch this. I'm telling you here now. This company, I'm not going to say it's trash because it hasn't had enough leeway to prove itself, but this is an unproven company. So I'm going to tell you here now, this is a name that $5 a share, don't pay no higher than 5. So I'm going to tell you now, don't ask me about 7. I said no higher than 5. Set your alerts, no higher than $5. If that doesn't come, then you just don't get it. But I'm telling you here now, Serve at $5, that's worth your shot. Serve Robotics. This is a mud play. They just have not proven themselves yet. So those are my thoughts on specifically this ticker. All right. So that's that. Now that isn't it, but that's all I'm going to give for free. All right. On the Zoom with people and YouTube. That's all I'm going to give for free. Now we've reached towards the end. For my people that are inside the community, you will get the others at a later time before the end of the year. And you as well will get the 2026 playbook, which we went 11 for 15. So let me just ask you this question. If Steph Curry go 11 for 15 on a given night, what you saying about him? Saying he the greatest shooter ever. You know what I'm saying? When the quarterback is 11 for 15 in the game in the first half, you're saying he's off to a pretty good start, right? So when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is shooting 11 for 15, you'll say he having a good night. That's a good night. So we went 11 for 15 on those plays. And those are 3-pointers. That ain't free throws. Those are 3-pointers because you got to call it before the year even starts. So you pulling from deep. You know, we could really push it back to half court, but we'll just say it's a 3-pointer from all around the world, right? So that's 11 of 15. That's a great batting percentage. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it just comes down to. So that's our track record for this 2025 stock options playbook. Now, I will say we'll probably do 25, so we'll have more to choose from. But I'm going to give 25, and that'll be in-house only, by the way. And we'll see what the percentage is. We're already knowing up front now all of them is going to work. But let's see what the percentage is. 25 shots How many can I knock down before the year even starts? That's a good test, right? We did 11, 15. That's just what I can say. So what I tell people is we are going to continue to lock in. For those that are here early this morning, we appreciate your service for you being on here this morning. You showed up, you executed, you delivered. That's just what it came down to. You guys delivered. Make no excuses, if buts about it. What I'll say is for 2026, like I said, no nonsense. The people that's here, we're gonna work with the people that's here. But if you do not show up for 2 to 3 months at a time and you got some nerve to talk about what's happening in the community, you need to just be quiet a second because you don't know what's going on for past 2 to 3 months. And sometimes people like to run their mouth a bit too much and give too much leeway. If you're not inside the community, that's on you. There's been plenty of discounts and that ain't happening. You can hit a payment plan. You could talk to me on the back end. We've set you up the right way. Now we have a ton of people that are here as well on YouTube. We have a ton of people that are here on the live. So let me pull up the YouTube chat that is directly here because everyone loves this giveaway. Everyone loves the giveaways and we are in giving season. We love it, right? We love to give. In order to receive, I believe you do have to give. That's just my thoughts, right? So giveaway time. I want you guys to put some drum rolls in the chat. Put some drum rolls in the chat because we gonna give. We just gave a ton on this Zoom. We just dropped some game, but we want to make sure that you guys are set up for success. Very, 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 very important. And so I want to make sure that you guys are set up, like I said, for success and making sure you guys are good. So my whole thoughts is right now, put some fires in the chat, share this. We're going to do this giveaway. We're actually going to go ahead and do this giveaway here in a second. And I want you guys, for people over here that are on YouTube, you got to fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. Put some drum rolls in the chat. I need everybody to make sure that you guys are coming in here. We'll give everybody a core break. So we'll give everybody a core break. So go ahead and do that. Fire this thing up real quick. So we'll give everybody a core break. Core break, core break, core break. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Share this thing with your friends. Share this thing with your friends. Go ahead and share this thing with your friends right now. Share this thing with your friends. All right, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I want you guys to share this thing with as many people as possible. Get those drum rolls in the chat and let's get this thing rolling, right? Listening with one eye open. So I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all away. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling people in the channels. Also, some people need to make sure they alerts set on because you know how Instagram and YouTube, make sure you have those notification bells so you know. Oh man, I didn't see it. Hey, make sure you got your notifications at here. I'm gonna let everybody know. I told everybody where to be, what time to be, and make sure you on here. Let's go. Live. We are on. We are on. We are on. We got 44 people that's in here. 44 people. So, all right, I'm gonna give everybody another 2 minutes. So we gave a lot of spoilers and predictions today, but we didn't give it all. We just gave enough for people to come back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I gave you guys some more than what some people did all year. This is just what it comes down to. One thing I don't like is for people to test me because I'm really a nice person. And, sometimes people just like to test me. And it's like I've been so nice. I even get text messages from people saying, "Yo, I don't know how you deal with that." Because I have self-awareness and I have self-control. Everything don't need a response. And I'm not gonna give certain people even a time of day because it's not even worth it. And we got other things to focus on. This ain't about me. This is about the people. That's what it is. It's about education for real. This is about real education. I pulled up the cities, took money out my own pocket to teach people. So yes, I have a program, but long before there was a program, there was me trading full time in college. I quit my jobs when I was in college to trade full time before I ever had a program. And the school was my first employer. The school was the first people to ever pay me. Not even my own friends or family paid me first. The school I went to, and I went to school, started going to school basically for free after that point in time. They paid me $10,000 a semester. Shout out to Billy Evans. You never forget what people do for you. And shout out to Tamika as well. She advocated for it. And Billy got it done. He said, yeah, man, we'll take care of that. You know, we'll put $10,000 on your for you each semester. Those was the people, and that $10,000 went into that brokerage account. These just the facts, verifiable. So what I'll just tell you is those were the first people to ever pay me. These just the facts. 2018. So once I started teaching people, late 2018 when they started, early 2019 when they started that, and that was the first time I ever been paid to teach already. So my whole thing is I never had a social media account. Even as a kid, obviously social media was big. I never had a social media account until 2018, right? As far as, social media, Instagram, I never had an Instagram account until 2018. I had a Twitter and a Facebook, but I never had an Instagram until 2018. Didn't really start posting on Instagram till content wise until really, my phone blew up during the pandemic. That's what made me start teaching more from the perspective of Zooms. I never did a Zoom until the pandemic forced me. I was only teaching in person classes. All the classes I taught were in person, on campus or off campus here in Atlanta, and teaching obviously people around my age at the time because that's who I was around. And then it obviously just grew. So to me, I wasn't one of these makeshift people that just started teaching when the pandemic came, and I'm just gonna call it what it is. I was teaching long before and was backed by the own school I was still enrolled at, respectfully. So that is who I am. And I've been a person that's been on the front line, making sure to help people understand. That's why anywhere, any platform, the platforms you guys have found me from, they had me there in the first place. Because there's certain people I sat and ate dinner and they told me, yo, L, thanks for that 10K you made me today. You got any other things you're going to throw me? And you guys can just read in between the lines. I ain't got to say too much. So that's why I said this not really about any debates. This ain't about me. This is about just at the end of the day, what my job is to do. My job is here to serve. So I got no time to be debating with nobody. I'm not going to debate with anybody. But since we want to poke me, okay, I could show you better than I could tell you, just like I always do. So I'm back outside. My boots is strapped up. They're going to be feet on the ground, and I'm ready to get active and get busy. So since people wanted to poke me, okay, well, now I'm just going to show you through the impact. And the people need it, and they want it, and I'm going to give it to them. So I'm always motivated. But now this is about to get dangerous because now we about to go crazy even more. Boots strapped to the ground. This is what honestly was probably needed. That's all it was. Just needed a little extra motivation. And that's all it was this morning. So I'm feeling extra motivated to give. So I want you, it's 9:01. I want you to send this to your family members. I want you to send this to your friends because I'm about to do something extra big right now. I'm about to do a blowout. After this, listen, if you don't grab one of these, this is just going to be on you. I'm going to go crazy, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't get selected, you need to hit my line immediately to get into this community. If you are not in this community, if you don't get selected, and some people in the community are going to get selected for a couple things as well, too. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. Some people in this community is about to get selected. So I'm gonna tell y'all 2 minute drill, Brady mode. You best go Brady mode with this live. You better pick up the phone and call your friend, your family member that's been saying, yo, how I'm gonna get in L. I'm telling you here now because I'm about to go crazy. And I'm about to go crazy and go ahead and deliver. So I want you guys to make sure that you guys are here and locked in because I'm about to give you guys away a ton of things. I got 50 people watching on YouTube, almost 200 people here on my Zoom, 15 people on the IG Live. You need to lock in with me because I'm about to give away something special. You see, I'm about to show this world I'm not the one you want to mess with because a motivated extra, I'm always motivated, but an extra motive, that's dangerous. You about to put me back in the same position I was in 2018, and that's a dangerous place. Dangerous place in a good way. Because now it's about to, now we about to show how we got here in the first place, what we've done. So let's get it, man. We got fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. We about to do some giveaways. Massive. You got 30 seconds on the clock. Brady mode. You better go Brady mode. Brady mode. Go Brady mode. 30 seconds on this clock. Drop the fires in the chat. Brady mode. All right now. All right now. We was here and it was documented. Brady mode. Let's go. Let's go. Massive giveaway. All right. Game's over. Brady won it as he always does. So I'm going to tell y'all here right now what we are going to do. What we are going to do, guys. Very, 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 very important. I'm going to put myself up on the screen real quick. So let me see everyone. I see the fires in the chat. I see everybody here. Brady mode. Put that Brady mode in the chat. TB12, man. That's the GOAT right there. And Jordan's my GOAT. You guys know that. LeBron is not my GOAT. Jordan is. Some people might be saying, man, he's 26. He talking about Jordan, his GOAT. LeBron played his whole life, which is a fact. Shout out to LBJ, though. Shout out to LBJ. Shout out to LBJ. But it is MJ. That's my GOAT. So let's go ahead and give this thing away. So we got some great people that's in the building. We're going to start off with members first. We're going to work our way down. We're going to start off with the people that's in the community first, but don't go nowhere. And I'm going to tell you guys this now. I'm about to give away. So no one should be leaving this live at all. No one should be leaving a live. No one should be leaving a YouTube. Stay right there. This is the last day and we about to go crazy. So let's start off with our members only. Members only. So here's what we're going to do. And my iPhone people, I told you guys about this before. Please change your names real quick because we don't want to leave you out. We don't want to leave you out from this. My Zoom users and my iPhones, I'm going to give you guys a second. Please go ahead and change that real quick. And I seen Queen is about to board, so we're going to get through this. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to start off with a couple people real quick. And so the first person we're going to give is Miss Pollard. Let me talk to you about Miss Pollard real quick. Like I said, nothing gets past me. Miss Pollard, you just sent me a text message, which I started to read as I was teaching. I'm not going to highlight what the text message was, but it was about our business. So what I want to do for you, because I've read a little bit of it and I'm not going to say anything. What you are getting, Miss Pollard, is you are getting a 4-day free opportunity, completely free. You've obviously paid to be in this community, but you're getting a 3 to 4 day, just depending on your schedule. You are going to get a 3 to 4 day opportunity to meet with me one-on-one. All you have to do is just come to Atlanta. That's it. You get yourself to Atlanta, you get a free 3 to 4 day, depending on your schedule, in 2026. We're not going to say, hey, the first part of the year, your schedule may already be booked up. You know, I couldn't imagine that. I'm sure that you're probably going to figure out and move things around. But we're just going to say for 2026, push come to shove, we don't know what's ahead. But you decide and you get with me. You get a good free 3 to 4 days with me to lock in with me here in ATL. Right? So that's a member. She paid to be here. And since she's been here, she's executed off the information. She's made no ifs and buts about it. She showed up and delivered. So Miss Pollard, I'm gonna get with you. I know you sent me a text. We'll go back and forth on that, and we'll figure that whole thing out. So that'll be for you. That's the first giveaway. Now I warned people. I warned people that I was gonna be giving stuff away massive. I warned people. Miss Pollard, I appreciate you. I like that. The classy investor. So I appreciate you, Miss Pollard, for being on here. Now, here's what we're going to do. My iPhones, please fix your names, please. Please, 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 please fix your names for us because we want to do this for you guys. Now, I feel as if I don't, how do I say this? I feel as if it comes down to this person that there's some things that certain people just deserve, right? And it's certain things that people have earned and deserve, right? Because they've earned it, they deserve it. And I want to take a second to acknowledge somebody that's on the call here this morning that absolutely deserves it. And because they've earned it, right? So I want to take a second to highlight somebody because they deserve it and they have as well earned it. And that's Miss Pamela Lyons. Y'all give it up for her. She's part of our 5Y club. So Miss Pamela Lyons, give it up for her. She's part of our 5Y club. So the same thing that I've given Miss Pollard, Queen, I am going to give it to you as well, right? 3 to 4 days live with me here in Atlanta. Sit down because you've earned it. You've earned it. And the reason why I say you've earned it is because there's been multiple times where you've been in my community. You've came to the Legacy Center, which I hosted those classes there, at the Legacy Center, many of times for free. But Miss Lyons was always there in those classes. She came right in person the past 5 years. This is why I talk about long-term community building. You know what I'm saying? So you part of that 5Y club. And so I am giving it, that's someone who's earned it. And because they've earned it, they deserve it. So this is how we highlight people. Because she's earned it, she deserves it. You get what I'm saying? And that's just real. So Ms. Lyons, same situation and setup. In 2026, we'll get with each other. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work how our schedules can align. So that's going to happen for you because you earned it and you deserve it. And that doesn't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? And so I think that it is one thing that's super, super duper important. Now I have 2 more. We're going to keep doing this thing. The next person is going to be Terrell Joseph, right? So Terrell, I want everyone to actually put in the chat. I want everyone to thank him for his service every single time he steps to work. Terrell, for those that don't know, is a firefighter. So he is saving lives. He is doing the things that he needs to do to help our community. That's someone who is a true savior in our community. You get what I'm saying? How many times do we go in different neighborhoods and we see homes burnt down? How many times are we seeing firefighters that have to go on a rescue, putting their lives on the line every single time they step out there? Every single time a call comes through, they step out there and they provide a service. And so because of that, what I want to do for you, Terrell, is I want to extend the same offer to you. 3 to 4 days, my brother. I know obviously it's going to be tougher because of your job and your duty, so it may just be 3 days. But I'm going to extend the same thing to you, my guy. And I also want to add this in there, an extra sweet thing as well for yourself, my brother. And the reason why I want to do this, I want you because you're big as far as getting people involved. You can let me know one person that's in your life, family member, friend, that you say, yo, L, this person is serious. Because I trust if Terrell's saying this person is serious, they serious. So if there's one person, you can invite them for free inside the community, and I'll give them access completely for free. So that's what I'm going to do for you, my brother. It does not go unnoticed, your service, your commitment to being here, and everything that you do for our community, bro. So I want to highlight you this morning and give you your flowers, bro. And I want to say I appreciate you. And that's just what it comes down to, man. So much love, man. And I know you'll get with me on the back end and we'll work that out. Next person that I want to do is Miss Shanisa Dixon Terrell. So y'all give it up for Shanisa, in the chat. I want you guys to give it up for Miss Shanisa in the chat. Because you talk about someone that's, you got your people that's been here, you know what I'm saying, day ones. You see, when there was a lot of people that was talking about me, she wasn't one of them. And we gonna talk that talk this morning. I never hid behind anything that I was going through. I stepped up to the plate and put it out there, even though I didn't have to put it out there on Front Street, but I spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I had $500,000 to lose. You feel me? I had 750 to lose. What does that tell you? You get what I'm saying? That means I was really doing something. I was doing what I was talking about. You get what I'm saying? And what I was showing. Some people ain't have it, but they was joking. Just gonna say it. We keep receipts. And I told some people I was gonna have some receipts. And this receipt that I have for you, Queen, is you been solid day one. I'm in Brooklyn. You pulled up to my events. That don't go unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up Brooklyn. We've been done that. You know what I'm saying? We've done that numerous of times in Brooklyn. We'll do it again. It just won't be with anybody who's going to talk ill on my name and ever speak on me and call me old boy. First off, I'm not no boy. I don't know why people be playing like that. People be talking crazy outside of my presence, though. You know what I mean? It just be crazy. It be wild. Oh, man, you talk to old boy? What? I got a name. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. People be like, people in this financial literacy space thinks that this is the streets. This is not the streets. This is, and nobody's from the streets outside of Trap. We just calling it what it is. And Trap ain't trying to go back. These just the facts. These just the facts. These jokers be thinking that they be from the streets. The only person that's from the streets is Trap. And he already told you he ain't trying to go back. So why you keep talking? Trapping his Bible. You know what I'm saying? But all these other people be thinking they from the streets. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trap, man. You know, I love Trap. You want to know why I love Trap? Because when I sat down with him, he talked to me like this. Yo, homie, there's some things that people like about me, and there's some things people like about you. Our job is to serve our communities. It's going to be some people that get turned off by my story and some people that get turned on by yours. We sat at a party. We chopped it up. We took a photo. He said, love, Young King. Anytime I run into him, Young King, what's up? What up, Trap? What up, big homie? Appreciate you. All love. You feeling good? Yep, I'm good. Go serve. Peace. And we dip out. Boom. That's just what it comes down to. That's what it got to be on. If we ain't on that, I ain't trying to talk to you. You get what I'm saying? Trap is doing his thing over there, serving the people. But we blindsided. There's gonna be it's room for everyone. It ain't a scarcity thing. It's room for everyone. And that's why I want to give Miss Sanisha her flowers because she's a real one. And I'm gonna extend the same offer that I've given to everyone else to you, the 3 to 4 days. I'm gonna extend that same offer. But also, I'm going to put an offer out there, and I think that we should as well do something. I know that you do a lot of things within your community, so I would love to be a part of any future things that you have going on that I could pop into and be a part of in 2026. So I do want to just give you your flowers and just say thank you and of the utmost respect that I have for you because you've been nothing but a solid individual. You know, you've supported from day one. You've had my back. And like I said, those things don't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? And so I do want to give you your flowers and present that and provide that to yourself. So very, very, very important. Next person I'm going to go to is Miss Simone Reed. Shout out to Miss Simone. Hey, so Simone, you talk about day one. Day one right there. That's a day one community member. Um, Simone has come in, she wears many of hats. Simone will tell you if you have conversations, many of hats. But she always finds a way. She's always on the recordings. She always finds a way to be disciplined and come in, ask the right questions. So Simone, I'm going to give you the same offer that I've given Miss Pollard, and I'm going to that I've given everyone else. So get with me and lock in. We'll get together on the back end for that. So look forward to that. So I'm going to give you that same offer. Now, I appreciate everybody. So we've given those offers away. Now, right, we've been able to give those offers away. We're not done yet, right? So I do want to say that. We are just getting warm, just getting warm. So now for people that's not in the community, let's go over here to YouTube because if you're not, there's 40 plus people that's here. Some may be in the community. But if you're not in the community and you may be on the Zoom or you may be on the live, because I did share, right? I want you to put your name in the basket. I want you to put your name in a basket. I want you to put your name in the basket to get access into the community. Now, I'm going to tell you this up front. You are only going to get access into the classes. So there will be no coaching given away. No coaching. You will get access into all the classes though. So I will give you access into the classes. So I do want to say that. That is what I'm giving you away. Right? So I want you to put your name in the basket. Drop your name. Drop your names. Drop your names on the live. Drop your names on the YouTube. Right? And I want you to actually put your name actually here in the chat. Just put your name in the chat. Drop your name in the basket. That's what I want you to do. Drop your name in the basket, guys. For those that are here that are not within the community, I want you to put your name in a basket. Put your name in the basket. Put your name in the basket. Put your name in the basket. It's 9:18. We're gonna do this at 9:20. So 9:20. All I want you to do is put your name in a hat. You gotta put your name in a hat, guys. Put your name in a hat. Put your name in a hat. Checking this phone real quick. Miss Janice Dean, I got you, Queen. So I did get you. I did get your message. I got you, Queen. Miss Dean, I got you. Yes, ma'am. All right. Right. So put your names in the baskets. Fire this thing up. Sugar Hill. Okay. We got it. Put your name, Mark. Hell, I got this. I'm looking over here. So here's what we gonna do. We got Jordan, Sean S. All right. Fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. Your family got you in here. Someone got you in here. You walked in through the door by yourself. So here's what we're going to do. We got 3 people that's about to walk away. So we got more than 3 names, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If your name does not get called, I want to tell you this up front. Listen to me, guys. If your name does not get called, you need to send me your email and your number directly to me because I'm going to put an offer in front of you that you will not refuse. So I need you guys to do that. Put your name and your number directly to me, and you can still get access into all the classes in 2026. So even if you don't get called, so I'm going to tell you this right now. Once again, this won't be tier 1 or tier 2. This is just going to be tier 3, the classes. So I'm telling you guys that up front. I will put an offer in front of you to make sure you guys are good. This we've already shown enough. You're here for a reason. So put your name in there. It's 9:20. We're about to go ahead and select 3 names. So your name should be in there. All right. So we do have a couple of people that are here. So what we're going to do is we are going to take Dara C. Dara C. Dara C. That's what we're going to do. Candace Ovid. Candace Ovid. And Sugar Hill. So what I did was I took one from the YouTube, one from the chat, and one directly here, right here on IG Live. So Sugar Hill, Candace Ovid, and you also have Dara C. Dara C. Those are going to be your 3 that we give away. Send me a direct message right now. We are going to set you guys up. Now, for everyone else that's inside the community, if you would like to upgrade today, you can send me a direct message. We'll set you up right. And for the people and we're not done giving away yet because we got something bigger coming. We got something bigger coming, right? Something bigger coming. I'm glad that you asked that, Mr. Blunt. Yes, you can. You can do that. So if you do want to, you can reach out to me for that. But Mr. Blunt, don't worry about reaching out to me to purchase that. You just earned yourself that. Now, don't everyone start asking a question and think that you're just going to earn it that way. That wasn't the reason why I gave it to Mr. Blunt. For time purposes, I don't want to go into all of the story, but I do want to say for Mr. Blunt, you have it. So just know that you got it, bro. Just know that you got it. You got it on me. So that's what I'll say. So you got it. You got it from me, Mr. Blunt. You got it from me. So I do want to say that. Right. So that's on me. Now you can purchase that. You can purchase that today. If you want to purchase the 4-day, we have some people that took advantage and executed off of the $750 and the $1,000 offer for the 4-day. I told people that the 4-day would be $2,500, and I'm standing on that. But if you want the 4-day, it's going to be $1,500 today. $1,500 one-time payment for the 4-day offer with me. 4 days to work with me live in person, and you get complete hands-on, me and you. 4-day is not in 2026. It's going to be $2,500. I'm gonna tell you that. But right now, I'll give it to you for $1,500. So I will give you the 4-day that I've given away to members completely for free here today. It is going to be $1,500 right now, but it'll be $2,500 in 2026. It's just the reality. So $1,500 is what you got. You can't get it for $750 or $1,000. It's not fair to the people that pulled the trigger, like Mr. Carter, Miss Williams, Trent, and a couple other people that pulled the trigger here early, right? Miss Foster. These are people that pulled it early. So I'm gonna tell you guys here now. Once again, $1,500 for the 4-day training with me. $1,500. Now I'm not done yet. We're not done. So we are going to have a BWSO big time mastermind. Now you guys know I've put these masterminds on complete. The community would tell you I put these masterminds on completely for free. Now, I want to tell you guys that next year, it will not be free anymore. There will be people that are given free access to come in person. Certain people will always qualify for free access. Let me explain it that way, and I'll outline these things. Certain people will get free access to events. Tier 1 members get free access to all link ups. Tier 2 members get free access to all link ups. So if you are tier 1 and tier 2, you get free access to come to all link ups. That's just the facts, right? You get all access to come to the masterminds and link ups. So that doesn't change, right? But if you do not have tier 1 or 2, you are not going to be able to come directly into the mentee link ups for free. So for the most part, a lot of people are mainly tier 1 and tier 2. So that doesn't change for you. So I want to make that up front. We've had some outside people who have came to the mastermind and link ups. And no, that's not happening no more. I'm going to tell you that right now. You ain't bringing nobody. Because that ain't going to happen. They getting all that game. And no one will come for free that's not in the community. I'm going to tell you that right now. We let that happen a little bit too much. Too much. Getting free game, feeling good. You feeling giddy. And you thinking my time is free. Hell no. My people paid to be here, so they get that premium value, and they're going to come for free. So tier 1 and tier 2, you good. Right? You guys will continue to come for free because you paid to be here. You've committed. Right? Anybody on the outside, no. That ain't happening. So the main thing that I would stress to you guys is very, 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 very important that I need people to understand. And this is the reason why I'm going to give it. For the people that are not in tier 1 or tier 2, so that means if you're just in tier 3 and you don't have any coaching, you're not working, any coaching, you're just in the classes, you're only in tier 3, you're not going to be able to come to any meetups for free. You will get a discount code, but all meetups at minimum is going to cost you $497 to come to. So all meetups at minimum are going to cost you $497 to go ahead and come to. That's minimum. Now, for my members who are in the community, they will come for free. My tier 3 members, you will come for 197. So you will come for 197. All outsiders will be 497. So that's not a bad trade-off. 497. Terry, you can just reach out to me and I'll make sure you know. So most people know, for the most part. Most people know, which is why there hasn't been any questions in there. Most people know. So the one in January, yeah, the one originally, like I never put out the information, but January is a no-go. We never really, the date was out there, but I never provided any of the information. So January is a no-go. Just because I didn't feel like it was the best time of year. It was just too early in the year. And I just felt like it just wasn't the best time. So January, just 11th to the 14th. Nah, it's not happening. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So yeah, 11th through the 14th. If there's some people that want to come and get busy with me that week, we can make an exception though. I can make something happen. So I do want to say that. If it's some people that was like, yo, L, I was gonna press the button on it. 11th through the 14th is open for me. I don't have anything currently there. So if some people want to say, hey, can we pop up on you? We can make that shake for January 11th to the 14th. But as far as it being at a big event on January 11th to the 14th, it won't be happening. Just it didn't make sense. But expect my event to be in March, though. Expect March. So March, and I got some things planned for you guys anyway. So March, yeah. March will be the next mentee link up. So yep. March. That gives everybody time and just makes it easier. So yeah. It was so I didn't want it to be right after Christmas, right after holidays, and people got to go back to work and they just took off. They was just off for 2 weeks. Now they got to tell, hey, I need to take off again. You know, that was gonna be hard. I know to kind of pull together and strain. So I was just being conscientious as far as that. So yep, that was my main. But the reason why I said I'm not done is because the last thing that I'll do is we're gonna have 20 people. So 20 people are going to be put on a list. So if you are on the outside looking in, I am going to give, actually, you know what? Not even just out, because we're tier 3. If you're in tier 3, you would have to pay. So really it's priority. Whoever hits me first is going to get put on their list. If you're in tier 3, you know you're just in tier 3. You should send me so you can get access into the next mentee link up in March. That will be here in Atlanta. So I just want to let you guys know that now. The mentee link up will be here in Atlanta in March. The dates are tentative, right? But it will be here in March. You can look for the first, more than likely, we'll probably aim, we'll aim for the second week of March. That's tentatively. I'll play around with that. But the second week of March is what I'm thinking. I'll give you a date right now. Actually can't be the second week of March. It'll have to be the after week. Third week of March. There we go. So third week of March. Actually, you know what? I don't even like that. We're going to do first week of March. March 1st through the 5th. Keep it simple. 1st through the 5th. 1 through 5. Simple. Simple, 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 simple. 1 through 5. Right? All right. Yep. Yes, ma'am, you can. For people that's asking. So 1 through 5. So I want to say that. Right? Want to say that 1 through 5. Yep. Let me respond to some of these messages. Yes. Dang, coach, we missed the DMV and now January. Ha ha. So let me tell you something. I can't let all the cats out the bag, but you just tempted me to do that. I got some surprises planned. Just know that. But DMV, I'm coming. Need you to stop by. I'm coming, guys. I'll be there January. I'll be there next month. So no worries. I'll come there January. We'll get a date together. I'll call the Venture X. I got them on speed dial. So I'll be there in January. getting you guys ready. So make sure you guys send me a DM. And the DMV I know is going to turn out there. And I got your message. For all the people that needed to message me, make sure you send me those messages so I can give you what I need. Give you what I need to give you. So yep, that's that. I've given yeah. So I've given you guys everything that I could. Everything that I could. More information to come out. But yep, March 1 through 5. That's easy to remember. March 1 through 5, and we'll change that in the Discord now. And then I think it just gives everybody time, you know what I'm saying, to actually go prepare. Oh, shoot, she did it. Shout out to Fozzie. Already done. So, yeah, 1 through 5, right? So, March link up at everyone will be 1 through 5, March. That will be the next dates. Next dates, and all info will be posted within the next 2 weeks. Posted in next 2 weeks. So that gives you time to get your flights, get everything together. March link up, 1 through 5. So you should have that written down. For anybody that wants access into this program, you know where to text me and get me at and where to send me a DM. So if you do not get that access, I need you guys to make sure that you guys do send me those messages today to lock in, because next year there is not going to be an abundance of discounts. I'm not going to say there's going to be none, because I think that would just be lying. But there won't be an abundance. I'm going to tell you that now. And you can lock in before, everybody wants the new year, new me. Well, guess what? Lock in now. Get yourself in this program. Very, very, very important. Get yourself in this program. Send this around, because do not leave and go into Christmas. I can give you a gift right now. No pun intended. I can give you a gift right now. You ain't got to wait till Christmas. You looking for a gift? I'm throwing something right off the backboard. All right. V Hill, you're in T2. T2, V Hill, Vincent Hill, T2. T2, my brother. T2. Yes, sir. T2. So what is important is to get to lock in now, and we'll be ready to move. So I will, one thing I will say is we will have some classes this week. Look for me we won't have a class tomorrow, but look for me on Tuesday and Wednesday. And that'll be that for me. I'll send you the times, but you will hear from me Tuesday and Wednesday. And everyone who, if I don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time. But we back to business. Back to business on Saturday. Saturday, we back to business. You could take Friday, enjoy, but Saturday we'll be running it back. We'll be back on the beginner classes. We'll be back on the prep. So we'll be good. You take Thursday, Friday off. You'll hear from me Tuesday, Wednesday, briefly, nothing long and long-winded. You will have Thursday and Friday off in the program. Enjoy that. Saturday, back to business in the morning. And then Sunday in the morning, back to business. And then, we go into the week. And then for all my people that's here in the program, the playbook will drop before New Year's, and everything will drop before the New Year's. We'll prep. So we back to business. Back to business on Tuesday. So you'll hear from me. March 1st to the 5th, 2026, ATL. Tap in with me. If you're not in the community, it's $497. $497. But I'm going to do this for you guys here right now. Last gift. Early bird $197. Send me your name, email, and number. If you're not in the community and you want to come get busy with us for 4 days, it's going to be $197. So I need y'all to know that. $197 to come get busy with me for 4 days. Very, 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 very important, because nothing is going to cost less than that, because I have an event in April that I'm just telling you now. This will be the last thing that I have something, for that low of a cost. Just the reality. So I'm going to tell you guys here now, get into this Minty link up. It's very, very, very important to lock in. And I want you guys to know that. Come in person, lock in with me. March 1st through the 5th. Kick this thing off and let's go. You know, March 1st to the 5th. Let's go. March 1st to the 5th. Let's lock in. Let's load. Let's load the boat. And let's keep this thing pushing. March 1st to the 5th. Book it. Let's pack this thing out. We can put 100, we can have 100 bodies, 100 people there because we're going bigger and better. We can pack this thing out with 100 people. I'm confident in that. So let's lock it in. Let's be serious. If you want to attend in March, you could just send me a direct message and we'll get you set up. If you want to attend in March, we'll get you set up all the way. All the details will drop within the next 2 weeks, by the way. Next 2 weeks, all the details and everything will be had. So you'll have the itinerary 60 days beforehand, times, all of that, everything that's happening, you'll have it in 2 weeks, next 2 weeks. So by the new year, we'll say by J5, shout out to all the Kappas in the building. By J5, you should have it. J5, you'll have it from me. Shout out to all the Kappas in the building. Appreciate you guys always. Got a lot of supporters here, so appreciate you, brothers. Thank you very much. And thank y'all. We'll talk to you guys here soon. And yeah, thank you guys very much. And I'll talk to y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Signing off. And we'll put those recordings in the chat. Blessed day. And hopefully your team wins.